23rd of February 2021. Live from Television Centre in London, this is Good Morning Britain with Piers Morgan and Susanna Reid.
Well, good morning, Britain. Just gone 6:30. Welcome to the programme.
We have the roadmap.
We've got a roadmap. The question is, does the car know where the roads are? It's an interesting one, isn't it? Because there is a map and it's got dates, but we're basing it on the data.
Yeah, we were told
dates.
we're not going to get dates, we're only going to get data. And then Boris Johnson yesterday listed a whole series of dates by which certain things will happen.
I have to say, and we'll bring in Hillary quite quickly here, I think. I have to say, as I watched it all, I found myself in the astonishing position of thinking it made some kind of coherent sense. You know, you have 4 stages that appear to have been reasonably well thought through, but crucially, a 5-week gap between launching each stage so you can actually assess the reality of the impact on infections, hospitalisations and so on from each stage. So, you know, we've got to try and get out of this somehow. It seemed to me that combined with the vaccine rollout, it makes sense.
I was really pleased to see that 5-week period so it can be assessed as to how each step is progressing. So we can see what the case rates are, so we can see how effective the vaccine rollout is, so we can see what measures have worked and how we can ease lockdown safely. Without those measures, you can't measure it. You can't look at any metrics and say we're in a safe place. It's got to be safe. We've got to come out of lockdown safely, and this is a really good, logical, scientific way of doing it.
Dr. Hillary, whatever other criticisms, and we have many, of the way that the government has handled this pandemic, the vaccine rollout is one thing where we are clearly ahead of the rest of the world. And most other countries, apart from Israel, of course, who are doing extraordinary things. There is, and the government deserves to be congratulated on that, because that is what has provided the light at the end of the tunnel. There is this really important data out of universities in Scotland and PHS looking into the effectiveness of the 2 main vaccines and the effectiveness of the first dose after certain amounts of time. It shows that between 28 and 34 days after the first dose, the vaccine is at 94% effectiveness for AstraZeneca and 85% effectiveness for Pfizer for preventing hospital admissions. I mean, that's the holy grail, isn't it? Because the whole point is we want to protect not just lives, of course, #1 priority, but the NHS. So the vaccine stopping people going into hospital is what is going to enable us to get out of this.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can't underestimate the enormous and fantastic work that's been carried out by the scientists in producing an effective and safe vaccine, but also the NHS staff that have administered it to those 17.5 million people in a short period of time. It's really encouraging how effective it is. So there were concerns initially that the antibody response wouldn't be adequate to protect as many people as we're seeing currently in that data. So a large number of a huge proportion, a significant proportion of those people are protected long term, even before the second dose. And that's so encouraging.
Yeah.
It does actually back up the government's decision to delay the second dose. And a lot of people were concerned about that, thinking that the antibody levels might drop dramatically. But actually, whether it's T-cell immunity or antibody...